So today, Fort Ross is about to celebrate its bicentennial in 2012, and I think of Fort Ross as being common ground. It's a place that speaks to the Russian community and the many, many waves of Russian immigrants. We heard quite a bit about that this morning, that have come to the United States over the last 100 years. I'm told by the Russians that it even smells right at Fort Ross. And I don't say that to mock anyone. I think that, a place can be a symbol of what was, and it can be a symbol of what was once imagined. And I think that's what Fort Ross is to many, many people. It's also common ground to Californians. It's, it talks about its pre-gold rush California history in ways that very few places in California are. The Fort Ross settlement was really a microcosm of what California is today: mixed races, a diverse colony, transplants who'd come, some willingly, some less so, for opportunity and a dream. It's my hope that Fort Ross continued to be that symbol of peaceful relations between our two countries, of common ground, where we can work together towards shared goals. Fort Ross is now closed 5 days a week, so we are only open on weekends, and that's a bit of a problem. We're not officially on the state park closure list. We are not part of the 70 parks, and yet we are closed for more than half the calendar year. I think we can safely thank the Russian government and a lot of friends in high places that we are not on the closure list, but especially with our bicentennial coming up, I would like us to do a little bit better and try to find ways to be open to the public more than weekends. So that leads into my pitch, which I think we've heard quite a bit from other people today. We need you folks to get involved. I would like to introduce Vasily Istratov. He's our keynote speaker for today's luncheon. I think that this is an apt segue for a gentleman who has focused much of his professional career on the intersection between Russian and world relations, both as a Russian diplomat and now as Deputy Director of Russkiy Mir Foundation.
For the last 2 years, I'm with the Russkiy Mir Foundation, and the Russkiy Mir Foundation was founded 4 years ago by a special decree of the President of Russian Federation with a special goal of promoting Russian language and heritage, mostly abroad. From that point of view, it's easy to understand why we were only too happy to answer, an appeal, in a way, to help this very conference, since we understand that Fort Ross is not only American heritage, it's Russian heritage as well, and that is one of few examples when we do that, obviously share that heritage, which is our mutual one. I'm very grateful for my old friend and colleague, Mr. Vladimir Vinokurov, a Consul General here, who, was the person behind the whole idea of our involvement with this particular conference.